The simplest tabletop flight simulator avionics panel that we have ever manufactured is right here, and I'm going to walk you through exactly everything in it. It features the RealSimGear GNS 530, the 430, the GTN 750, a 6-pack run by an iPad and RemoteFlight Cockpit HD. We've got the Logitech switch panel, bringing your avionics on and off, starting your aircraft, and finally the Eclipse Yoke that has the throttle, mixture, and prop control all integrated into one unit. So keep it right here and learn all about this feature, the panel, and all the avionics inside. So welcome. Really excited to walk you through this panel that we have here. As I mentioned, a lot of different components bringing this whole piece together, but this is a totally custom panel that we've done. And when I say custom panel, you know, that's a lot of the business that we do at State Level Avionics. So as a quick refresher, SLAVX Avionics panels. That's what we're selling here. This is just the panel. It's all made from an all-metal construction. It's a tabletop unit, meaning you don't have to have any clamping. You purchase the avionics, for example, the iPad, the RealSimGear units. Maybe you already have an existing yoke, and basically you put it all together in our SLAVX tabletop avionics panel. So you can see here, I mean, the panel isn't going anywhere. It is incredibly stable, incredibly solid. And that's the whole goal here, is we were all sick and tired of clamping things to and from a desk. And so with our panels, you don't have to do that. Once again, they're powder coated. Got this great leather glare shield LED strip underneath. And overall, it's to bring an enhanced level of realism to your sim environment. So, you know, I want to walk through really quickly today, basically, effectively, want to walk through what all these different avionics are. I'm not going to go super in depth, but I want to demonstrate them working in X-Plane 11, so you too can also have a very similar simulation experience. So we set out on this mission to create the most amount of compatibility with general aviation avionics in the home. Okay, and so that means these different units here, these avionics, the RealSimGear units, they're awesome. They make the 430, the 530, the 650, the 750. But also we're announcing the Eclipse Yoke support. So this yoke has the throttle, prop, and mixture all integrated into one unit. And the really nice part about that is you don't have to have a separate throttle quadrant, you know, located down here if you're using our pedestal mount, off to the right if it's more of a traditional monitor, but also you've got a yaw control here with the rudder. So this is kind of neat. You don't have to have a second set of rudder pedals, another USB connection. It's just really simple, actually. And so, you know, really we just set out to create compatibility with this yoke as well. We're obviously compatible with the Brunner yoke, the RemoteFlight Yoko, the Logitech yoke, and then now the Eclipse yoke. And so we, as State Level Avionics, actually offer the most amount of compatibility with our panels, with our components, with flight sim hardware worldwide. That's us. That's it. There's nobody else. Nobody else is doing what we're doing. So, you know, it's really neat from that perspective. So, really, this is pretty simple. It's X-Plane 11 right here. Running on the iPad is RemoteFlight Cockpit HD. Okay, and RemoteFlight Cockpit HD is a great piece of kit, and you can change all the different gauges that you have here. Once you go into settings, you can actually pick from, you know, different airspeed indicators if you want, and then you can actually return back to the page. And here I've got the EFIS, HSI, you know, etc. You got an RPM gauge. So all those things that you're kind of seeing down here in the 6-pack, you actually don't need to have that view. You can just kind of see it right here as well. So this here, RealSimGear 530, the 430, and then you got the 750 over here. And so this is touchscreen, which is really awesome. And it's really neat because all this stuff is integrated and connected through the sim. So if I make an adjustment here on COM 1, it's actually going to show up here on the COM as well. And if I make an adjustment here, it's going to show up there. Now traditionally, probably in your SLAVX tabletop avionics panel that you would own, you probably only have a 530 unit and a 430 unit. You probably wouldn't also have a 750, unless maybe you're transitioning to a 750 and you want to learn that as well. And so, you know, we can do a wide array of different configurations of avionics and things like that. But this is basically the setup. And so I'll just tune here So I'll go to 131.50 and I'll go to 131.460, and there it is on standby, 131.460. So you're able to see all those things, and then I can actually tune in. Let's call it 126.0, and we'll go ahead and hit enter. It's now going to be on the active frequency, and it's on the active frequency there as well. So really nice from that perspective. You can go ahead, you click the map, you can actually see where we are in relation, whoops, to the view. And so obviously this is touch, so you can move it all around. You can go in here, and really neat, you can actually see all your different taxiways as well. So this is just like having the real units and the real deals, and this is the whole thing. Same here with COM 2 down here, you know, being controlled on the 430. This is all being adjusted here, which is also being adjusted on the 430 unit there in the sim. Okay, so what I want to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and just give you a quick little demo. I'm going to do a quick traffic pattern, showing all these units, showing everything moving, get you guys comfortable with it all, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So keep it right here for the demo, and thanks for tuning in. Well, thank you for tuning into the demo here really quick. Basically, I've got all the avionics here. I'm in the plane, turn the master switch on. So you're, that's the alternator, so you're hearing the gyros if you hear any bit in the background. Another thing is I'm actually running ForeFlight here as well. And so this is really neat because this is a great opportunity for you to be able to learn ForeFlight on the ground, in the comfort of your own home, play around with a little bit of the different features, you know, breadcrumbs, whatever floats your boat. But basically, it's great to be connected here to X-Plane as well, and all this stuff is connected relatively easy. So another thing that I always have with these setups is I do have a wireless keyboard that's a little bit small. I can just put it in my lap in case I do ever need to end up clicking anything, you know, down here in the gauges in the cockpit. You know, maybe the parking brake was set, something like that. But usually you never really need to. So once again, this yoke down here, you can see, and I'll kind of back out, but it does have this yaw control, which is kind of neat here. So obviously, you know, that's just something that's a little bit more convenient if you don't want to invest into a set of rudder pedals, and that's something that you can use, right? So once again, trying to really learn these avionics here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fire up, and we'll just do a quick little traffic pattern, and you can kind of see everything starting to move and how it all works. I'm not going to be shooting approaches on these instruments and whatnot. You can learn all about the 430, 530, 750, all that stuff, you know, as you get them, but just going to kind of demonstrate functionality here. So we will go ahead and get started. And we can go there, and okay, so there we are. Good. We'll close that window out, and so everything should be pretty well good to go here. I'm going to change this back to the Cessna here. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of difference pushing your thumb for a little right rudder, but I suppose that'll have to do. So you're just kind of, you know, touching your thumb where you'd normally be pushing in your right rudder. So as you can see here, everything's coming up alive really nicely. So you're looking at about 55 knots for a little bit of rotation there. Starting to climb out. Now you can see here, we're also on the map. Excuse me. So you can do your different ranges there. We go back. So now it's going to actually be following us here. And you actually notice as well on ForeFlight, and this here is just trim, so we'll just trim down just a very little bit. But you can see on ForeFlight too, you can see traffic, but you can also see that you're actually flying as well. So really pretty neat from that perspective to be able to learn something like that here instead in the comfort of your own home versus actually flying and trying to learn ForeFlight. Okay, so learn these avionics down here in the comfort of your home. So I'll just quick kind of just make a little turn here. Obviously you've got your coordination here as well. And you know, everything works just very simple. You know, you've got your nav here, you got your comm there, comm 1, nav 1, comm 2, nav 2. So those are pretty simple. Frame rate is great. This is X-Plane 11.34, so really great frame rate there. Once again, ForeFlight's working really nicely, and we'll just go ahead. We'll make a little turn here, bring in a little bit of rudder. This yoke actually feels really good in the hand. It's got some kind of knurling gripping here, and it actually feels really good. So. You know, I've set up rather flaps down and flaps up with this thumb button here. Obviously, you've got the hat switch here for point of view and things like that, so that works really well. Throttle here is nice just to kind of get the concept. You don't have to have a second component, second USB connection, so that's really good. And coming in here under 85, bringing in a little bit, so. Starting to look at beam, come down a little. This is not a perfect traffic pattern by any means. It's not meant to be. Just kind of demonstrating here that everything's working. So you got your zooms here. You know, overall pretty nice. So this is all touch, obviously. So I can change my transponder here. So I'll call it 2367. And hit enter, and then I should see it down there on the transponder as well, 2367. So that's really nice. You've got a transponder unit within that, and then if I just wanted to go back, I could actually push just VFR 1200, enter. Now I'm 1200. Okay, so pretty simple. So we'll here, where are we at? Probably go ahead and turn. But as you can see, something that's really important is I'm sitting here screwing around with all these Avionics on final, and look how low I am. Okay, so my point here is it's really easy to get distracted when you're flying a plane, and it's really important that you know these Avionics in and out, so when you are flying a plane, you're never in a situation where you get distracted with these things, and then you're coming back and you're realizing your situational awareness isn't very good. Okay, so you know, here we're actually on glide slope. I got ForeFlight telling me that I'm on short final for 2.7. I'm on the glide slope here. I'm going to bring in another notch of flaps. This is nice because you actually have forward trim that you can apply here. So it's kind of like a trim wheel, but you've got it right here. So really kind of dialing that concept of trim. And I'm going for 61 to 65 over the numbers. And we're going to try to hit it right on the numbers. We'll see. So we're full flaps. And we're going for the numbers. See if we do it. I'd say that was pretty close to the numbers, and then here you are, so a little bit right, so then we're on. The cool thing about ForeFlight, you actually see some traffic that's coming out of X-Plane as well, so it looks like another guy's on final, so that's kind of neat. You know, here I can go ahead, I can zoom in if I wanted to see the taxiways. So if Alpha 3 there, we'll get off at Alpha 3, and we'll go from there. So overall, pretty neat, pretty cool. Everything works really quite well, and yeah, definitely a neat setup, tying all these things together and being able to learn this stuff kind of in the comfort of your home. So, you got any questions? Check us out, SLAVX.com, S-L-A-V as in Victor, X as in X-ray, SLAVX.com. Once again, this is the RealSimGear units here, the Logitech, the CH Eclipse, an iPad running RemoteFlight Cockpit HD. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and if you have any questions, let us know. Stay level and have fun. See you guys.